everybody, I'm Ann Goldberg.
And I'm David Hall.
And we are the Savvy Seniors. And this is the Savvy Seniors Show. Thank you for being with us. We are so happy to be here with you. Being a Savvy Senior means knowing that you're old enough to have a past and young enough to have a future. Right? And that future is very much dependent on the choices that you make.
And now for our next segment, Never Too Old.
Are you a super ager?
Well, I've been called worse. I guess I could be a super ager. What's that all about, Ann?
Super agers are octogenarians.
What?
Who have the physical and cognitive capacities of 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds.
If I'm not mistaken, an octogenarian is an 8-legged creature in the ocean?
I don't think so, although they may be related, but it's more a person who's had 8 decades of life.
Oh, okay. Now I'm with you. So it's 80-year-olds that act like 20-year-olds and have the physical capabilities?
Physical and mental capabilities.
That's a super ager.
At 74, Nancy Asbedian has the brain of a 20-something.
If you keep doing things mentally and physically, they all come together.
This Massachusetts grandmother is part of a special club of seniors known as super agers. In memory tests, their brains are as sharp as people in their 20s.
Their memories are very youthful and they show no evidence of memory loss.
Neuroscientist Lisa Feldman Barrett wanted to know why. So in a recent study, she scanned the brains of more than a dozen superagers and got the shock of her career.
And we found a whole set of regions which are much thicker and much better connected, which means they are more youthful. And in fact, when you look at superagers' brains and you compare them to young people, they're indistinguishable.
So what keeps these older brains so young?
The word boredom has never been allowed in my house.
Researchers say superagers like Nancy challenge their brains and bodies on a regular basis, exercising daily and pushing themselves to master new skills. In the last year, Nancy's learned how to play piano, chess, even pool.
One of the things that they seem to do is push through discomfort. If you cultivate that feeling of yuck at least once a day and kind of push through it.
Cultivate yuck.
Yeah, that feeling of, I can't do this, it's really hard, I want to stop, but you just do it anyway.
Wow. Okay, well, another key to super aging is the kind of stress in your life. Experts say constant toxic stress from relationships or work environments can be very harmful to your brain. But occasional bouts of stress can actually be good for it, as long as you stay hopeful and positive. And another thing they talked about is walk around in bare feet.
Right.
Get used to that, stretch your muscles out, constantly be moving. We've become way too sedentary. You have to get up and move.
That was so fascinating.
That was so fascinating.
Be a great TV show, Super Agers.
Wow.
Okay, so the takeaway for all of this is, do you challenge your brain and your body every day? One of the characteristics of the superagers is that they push themselves relentlessly towards a goal that almost never can be achieved, if you will. Twyla Tharp was interviewed in, I think it was AARP, in one of their bulletins recently, and she had the quote, "You don't want to have a goal that you can accomplish. You want one that will continuously pull you along to the next discovery." That's part of this idea of being a super ager.
Very good. I'm going to be a super ager. If I could start now, what do I need to do?
First of all, move. Get outside. Walk.
Gotta go. Bye.
What are some examples? Let's talk about some examples of superagers that the audience would know, like
Superagers.
Jane Fonda.
What is she? She's in her 70s?
She's 82.
She looks great.
Do you know she's recently been arrested a couple of times for peaceful demonstrations about voting rights and things?
Just like the old days in the Vietnam War era.
Yeah.
So Jane Fonda,
she's still an activist.
super ager, because she's done all those yoga videos and exercise videos. She's reinvented herself so many times that she's still fresh and in our lives.
She'll never be done with her work. That's the point. There's always something else to do.
I got another one. So when I grew up in New York, I used to watch an exercise program in black and white television, and it was called The Jack LaLanne Show.
I used to watch that every
Do you
now
remember?
and
The
then.
guy
I
was
remember
always
that.
he was always so fit, and he was happy. And then I think he had German shepherds that ran onto the set, and he was the first exercise guru. And Jack LaLanne lived a ripe old age, did he not?
He died at 96, and I think he was vital right up to the end.
He was pulling trains with his teeth and swimming the English Channel. Well, he had two, I think, white shepherds, which I thought were such exotic, beautiful animals.
And here's the thing. One dog was named Happy, and the other dog was named Walter. But Walter stood for "We all love to exercise regularly." We all love to exercise regularly. So do
name yourself
your
Walter. Yes.
Right. Do your Walter and move, move, move. Okay, we stress this in every show, in every class I've taught. I always talk about this. So
And you'll become a super ager if you follow along with these leaders. There's one other person I think that we had.
Jane Goodall.
I love Jane Goodall. She's been in the forest for forever.
She's 86 years old.
86 years young, and I guess she's the leading authority anthropologically on gorilla and language and chimpanzees.
Always learning, always with a mission
Super ager.
that she'll never get done. So if you want to learn something new, because part of the super aging is learning, engaging your mind and pushing it to its boundaries. Okay, so we came up with a couple of websites that we thought would interest you. Of course, YouTube. YouTube has everything.
Another resource, a very powerful one, is TED Talks, TED.com. You go to TED.com and you can see subjects of all matters, really cool, very important, and insightful by the leading authorities in their fields.
Yeah, from science to spirituality, you will find the most intriguing conversations happening on TED Talks. The next one, this was really fascinating when I found this. This is a free audiobooks online. It's called LibriVox.org, and it's public domain. For those of you for whom reading is a challenge, this is fantastic.
You could check out Jazz Profiles on npr.org. That's npr.org for Jazz Profiles. And check on YouTube for any jazz programming or music genre of your choosing. One last note.
We always want to remind you the benefits of a hug. We can't say it enough.
Virtual hugging. More than ever, right now especially, it's important to hug yourself. You've got to give yourself a squeeze. Now,
And
if you can't get that far,
if you're lucky enough to be able to hug
get out of
somebody
here. I'm
else,
squeezing myself. I'm virtually hugging. I want to be alone. That's funny. Oh, and if you do it like this, it looks like you're kissing somebody.